Joining me today is New Hampshire Representative Paul Henle. Paul, so, your tax bill, it didn't make it out of committee.
Made it out of committee with a recommendation of inexpedient to legislate, which is what we say.
Which is short to say didn't make it out of committee.
Didn't make it a committee.
In New Hampshire, everything makes it out of committee.
Right.
But some things get killed on the floor.
Yeah.
That is,
yeah.
It is a quirk of New Hampshire. But there's another bill that's going forward.
Yes.
To study taxation.
Yes.
And I want to understand a little bit more about that.
Yes. HB 489. And in Ways and Means, we had several bills dealing with taxation. I guess that's no surprise. Sometimes I like to say we're like the Maytag repairman. We're the committee that raises money and we're just waiting for the phone to ring. But so we had bills that had to do with lowering taxes and raising taxes. We had bills that said we ought to get rid of the interest and dividends tax. We had a bill that would have included capital gains in the interest and dividends tax. So there were a lot of bills, and it just seemed to the committee that there's interest in the state to take a look at how we raise money and see if there's anything we can do to improve it. Plus, there are a couple of issues that have come to the forefront in the last 2 or 3 years. Have to workforce. We're up to full employment. Businesses are having trouble getting workers, skilled workers. A lot of discussion about retaining young people here. And also, the demographics are changing. We're aging in place.
Yeah, and if you look to the counties north of Concord and west, you're right. You see fundamental demographic shifts there.
So is there something that tax policy could do to help alleviate? Is there something tax policy could do to encourage young people to stay here? Is there something tax policy could do to help seniors who, our retired population, which is growing, could help? We have a nursing shortage. We did have a bill come to us, which we amended slightly, for a study commission to look into our tax structure with an eye towards these demographic changes. And
so it wasn't just to look at taxes for tax's sake.
Wasn't just for tax sake, also to help us in the future, which is a good thing. We're always, as I say, every 2 years we have a long conversation about spending. But we never have a conversation about revenue.
And the Ways and Means, do you purposely tweak the taxes as part of your legislation, or is it really forecasting?
Someone has to come. Someone has to bring a bill to us. We can't just, as a committee, say we ought to raise this tax rate. Somebody has to bring a bill to us. So,
when do you think the study committee will finish its work?
It's basically a 2-year committee, and it's required to bring in a preliminary report, sort of a halfway mark, December 2017, and then a final report 2018. And, there'll be several people from the private sector, somebody from the Business and Industry Association will be on it. And I think 3 representatives and 2 senators. And my hope is that it will go out into the community, into the hinterlands, and hold hearings, one in every county, and, give people, an opportunity to have some input into how they think we ought to raise money.
Do you think at the end that it's likely that a state sales tax or income tax will get real serious consideration?
I can say I think it'll get serious consideration. Whether, chances are slim that this commission will come out with a recommendation, but, who knows? I did propose an income tax, and I know that's a steep hill to climb. A change like that is only going to happen in New Hampshire, and this is a good thing, when the people want it. The New Hampshire House of Representatives is a fine body. I think it does a great job, but at the moment anyway, it's doing a much better job of following rather than leading. And something like this is only going to happen if the people
Really want it.
really want it and really let us know they want it.
And so
And that's a good thing.
we'll see what the committee says, and we'll get a chance for people to express their will every 2 years.
That's my hope, yeah.
All right, we're out of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us for this edition of Capital Connections, your weekly access to politics and policy along the I-89 and I-91 corridors and how it impacts your life in our region. If you've got an idea for a future show, please send me an email. And remember, join us again at this same time next week for another edition of Capital Connections.